Hey everyone, this is Michelle McElwain, your community real estate expert. I am here. I am taking this opportunity to interview a very, very special individual. This series is on generating wealth through real estate, so kingdom wealth to be specific. And as I was getting ready for this, I had a phenomenal idea. I want to take you guys behind the scenes and get to know some of the people in my life, like my friend, entrepreneur, mother, artist, Sade Dennis. Sade is a prime example of when I'm speaking about making your home work for you. I love, your story. I love all kinds of, things that you do as an artist. But in this series, we're talking about how to generate wealth through real estate. So I'm gonna try to stay on topic. Sometimes I get.
Well, listen, it's such an empowering subject matter, and it's something that we all have access to.
Right.
When we think about real estate, it seems so big, so scary, but we do have to live somewhere. So it's almost kind of like we can take advantage of things that we're already doing, in a sense. If we're creative and if we kind of have that thought process, and sometimes out of necessity.
Told you. This is why I am bringing people like Ms. Dennis to the forefront, because I really want the everyday person to understand when I say something like creating wealth through real estate. Most people initially think, oh, I gotta buy and sell, I gotta flip, I gotta this, I gotta that. But I'm gonna have her share a couple of things with you. And girl, because I'm used to you doing the interview, so I can write down my questions.
That's all right. Hey.
So my first question for you is just, how did you learn about real estate? And then I want you to share with my audience like your work and how are you able to work and how does it impact your family?
Absolutely. Again, when you think about real estate and all that it comes with, as a child, we did live in a home. We came from like an apartment to a duplex apartment to then a home. And even that was more of a kind of a townhome kind of dwelling. But it was great because for the first time I could paint my room. I could do those kinds of touches. And for me, as being a creative person, I was able to do really kind of cool things that I could not do in the apartment that we rented, because it wasn't like we rented from somebody. We rented from an apartment complex. But at the age of it might have been like 9 or so, we moved into our home and I was able to do my room. So that was kind of the first thing. And that was interesting. I've always kind of been a really creative person. So I was doing like makeup and hair and just different sewing projects. And I had clients even like in the 8th grade. So I did. So I was able to, I sold like chips. I sold like hot fries and Oreo cookies, because
this is a real entrepreneur, y'all. Real entrepreneur.
In our school, we didn't have hot fries or Oreos in the vending machine. So at that time, I don't think it was BJ's. It was some kind of store, warehouse store. And then I went ahead and purchased those items, and I had my inventory and all that at home. So I just saw even then how having a home, like I said, painting my room, having a business and whatnot, was possible because of my parents' choice to purchase a home. And then you fast forward, I lived at home till I was 27 years old. Okay. I went to school. I got my bachelor's degree, and then my master's degree, and I planned.
She educated, y'all. She's well educated.
Educated. So you got to put the M in there. That's what really counts.
Okay.
Educated.
Educated.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead.
And so, but I chose that, and what was interesting, my father would always tell me. In fact, he wanted to push me to purchase a home even then, and I should have listened to him because which is kind of a.
I'm going to have an opinion about that and how soon you should be doing that.
No, because I think at the time, even though my husband and I, fast forward, purchased a home kind of during the height, and I'm glad we did, just period. But I'm just saying. So anyway, let me go back for a little bit. So I moved out around 27, and even then, I rented a home from a homeowner. It was a condo, but he allowed me to do business there. I shared with him, hey, these are kind of the business things that I do. How do you feel about it? He was like totally fine with it. So I was able to even communicate with him about what I was doing, and he gave me the go-ahead. So I always saw that how I was able to be more flexible with some type of ownership model. Okay, so that was that. But then in terms of how it has impacted my life and my business, having clients, even like babysitting and having clients and braiding hair and doing makeup, and people picking up Oreos and hot fries. I mean, this has gone on for like years now at this point. Me running some type of business from home. And it's so funny. My father, who was Nigerian, I'm Nigerian. And so I tell you, if I had $1 for every business he had, I'd be a millionaire, because he had lots of businesses. And I remember he would order lots of just various supplies. So whether or not it was sunglasses, like Ray-Ban, basements full of stuff, or just all kind of
Now, did
invoices.
Daddy just keep all the stuff down in the basement, or did he actually sell the stuff?
Well, he did sell some things.
All right.
He did sell. My father has exported cars.
Okay. We don't want Daddy to be a hoarder, so that's why I had to ask.
He would export cars. I mean, he loved business. And so for me, it was something that I picked up, just a love of business.
Right.
And I saw how us living where we lived at, having a basement, having a storage area where he kind of built this little wooden door and had all his things in there. It was labeled. And that was the area for his business. We had enough space. I mean, it was a 3-bedroom. But I just saw how he had his inventory.
Right.
So you fast forward years later, now married with 3 children. And, I thought about, hey, well, maybe I'll have an outside business. So I did try that model. And again, there's pros and cons to everything. But for me, in having young children, I did bring the business back. And I mean, of course, I had my business involves me going out and filming and different things on location. But in terms of like my workspace, my workshop area, etc., I see that I was already, paying mortgage on a space that I already owned.
Okay.
And so,
Y'all, I got to hop in here because, this is my girl. She's used to running the show. So what I'm going to say here is a very, very important thing. And that is, some of you are looking at real estate investing, or some of you are looking at like, how in the world do I make my real estate work for me? What exactly does that mean? Do I need to rent out my house? I don't want strangers in my house. Well, hello, Airbnb. People are making mad crazy money about that with that, but we'll go past that. What I really hear you unpacking, and what I really want people to get out of this series, is just ways that the everyday person is making their real estate work for them.
Yes.
This is not complicated. This is not hard.
It doesn't have to be.
So it's 2 concepts that I heard Sade break down for us. One, she followed in the footsteps of her father. Her father was an entrepreneur, so she saw entrepreneurship at home. She saw it being played out in front of her. So it was a natural progression for her that if she needed income, if she needed monies, I'm sure Dad was not walking around, trying to figure out how to pay a mortgage.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure when Dad needed something,
yes,
he knew how to generate some income there. So I want you to take that point. The next point that I want you to get is that Sade, as well as her family, they really have been able to take that thing like their property and make it go to work for them. They've been able to house their business and their family into a single spot. So not only is she getting the biblical principle of learning from her father, he's passing on this generational trait of entrepreneurship, which of course I think is phenomenal. I love entrepreneurs and real estate. So on the real estate side of things, what we get to break down here is a portion of this home is now being set aside for them to do business. This home is not just them paying a mortgage out, but there is cash cash flow. Money is flowing before it leaves out the door. They're calling money in. They're saying, money, come into this house, and you stay here.
And I'm saving on childcare expenses too.
Okay.
Because the kids can kind of do what they have to do in their own space.
Right.
And it just works right now. And it really, really works. Right. And it ends up being a blessing. And the kids have access to me. They know that I'm working, that kind of thing. But it ends up being a blessing. And that, I've trained them to kind of respect my workspace. Right. And they really do.
Right. And again, we go back to kingdom principles. I don't just want to harp on, this is real estate and this is business. This is a kingdom principle that when you are taking your gifts and your talents, you are going to gain wealth. So wealth isn't always how much dollars or how much money you're making, but it is truly the lifestyle that you're able to live. So just by using some basic Bible principles, we see that Miss Sade and her family are practicing generational wealth, y'all. Generational wealth. Dad got it. and then Sade got it, and now she's teaching it to the children, because it may just seem like, oh, she's saving on childcare costs, but these kids are seeing entrepreneurship at work. She saw it in with her father, and now he's passed that down to Sade, and now Sade is passing that on to her children. Her children aren't wondering, you know, where does lunch money come from? They see that mommy is actually creating wealth, and that she's creative. So again, guys, I could go on and on and on, but I am so excited to be introducing this series to you. I hope you get some value out of this. I hope we've stimulated your mind and help you to see that real estate, or creating wealth through real estate, it don't have to be deep, hard, or spooky. You can do it.
Right, absolutely.
Miss Sade, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for thinking about me.
I just tell you, I'm excited because the people that I'm around, people like yourself, really do inspire me, because a lot of people are looking for income.
Sure.
And it's right there. It's right in their household.
That's a word right there.
Right there.
It's money in the house.
It's money in the house.
Money, and that's wealth and money in the house. Resources in your house.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep. So this, once again, is Michelle McElwain. Our series is Creating Wealth Through Real Estate. And again, this is not your typical real estate show, so please share this video. Thanks. Thank you, Miss Sade.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michelle.